So I'm just having a little reflection this morning on how difficult it is to eat healthy, specifically in the US. The standard American diet, from the research that I've done, is anywhere between 75 to 90% highly processed, refined sugars, but highly processed foods in general. And that means 90% or more of what we eat, if we're just looking at processed, not necessarily highly processed, but highly processed is supposed to be like 75% of our diet. And then if you include just processed, anything that's been touched or rearranged by the hands of man, that's over 90% of our food. So one thing that I would like to make clear is that all of these foods, specifically the highly processed, some of the processed stuff includes just like washed fruits or things like that. But anything that is highly processed specifically is not food. It is poison. And it's highly addictive poison. And the thing is, our government and the global elite oligarchs they're well aware of this, that they're poisoning us. They are well aware. They have passed all the laws that allowed all these petroleum-based chemical dyes and all of these thousands of chemicals that are not allowed in other countries that are dangerous and harmful to human beings. And they have allowed this into our food. And the thing is, this is on purpose. The lower the vibration that they can keep the people in, the less chance there is of revolt. And so if they can keep our bodies inflamed and constantly working to heal itself, you don't have the energy to think about the things and to find yourself in the state of presence to be able to understand what's really happening. So it's doing absolutely anything and everything that they can to keep the people in a mass hypnosis where they just keep continually consuming and buying all of these products that are poisoning them, that are poisoning us. And one thing that I think is important to understand about this is how difficult it is to stop eating these things. I have been about a week or so off of processed foods and sugars at all, any refined sugars, nothing but stuff that comes from Mother Earth that has not been rearranged by the hands of man. So, leafy greens, plants, grass-fed, organic, farm-raised animal products, this kind of thing. And it has been one of the hardest things that I have ever done. And I have had to quit almost every drug that's out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, quitting sugar and highly processed food is just as hard, if not harder, than quitting any drug that I've ever had to quit. And I've done basically every single one. If it's out there, I've done it. So I just want to make it clear that, it's not your fault if you're struggling with diet and with weight and with covering up, pain and trauma and using this food as a coping mechanism, because they make it this way specifically. They make it so that it will spike your hormones in your brain and make you feel amazing. There's not a rush that's out there for most people that they can do with their jobs, that they get from food. And I think that we have to be very, very careful with what we eat if we want to be able to step into this next chapter of humanity. And if we want the United States to start to be free again and to have independent thought and expression and creativity that's not in this eat, sleep, work cycle that they have us in. And this is the point of keeping the people stuffed full of poison, is it allows them to keep us in this mass hypnosis and to keep millions of people working for a handful of people, making them wealth, making them money, trading our time and our valuable life force energy for scraps, for whatever they give us, and acting like it's okay. And I think that this is very dark, what has been going on. And the thing is, these companies, they're well aware of this. There's many other countries where these chemicals and these poisons are not allowed. They're illegal. But those at the top, specifically in the US, the global elites, the oligarchs who want to keep us, like I said, in this mass hypnosis, they're well aware of that. And so, yeah, just want to send out my prayers and my blessings and my love and my light to each and every one of you, and to caution you about what you put in your body. And I would invite you to do some research into these foods, into these substances, into these chemicals that we are almost all constantly consuming. And one thing that I would like to reflect on as well is how amazing human beings are. If they're poisoning us from morning until dusk every single day, basically everywhere you go, 90% of what's out here is poison. And yet we're still living, we're still getting by, we're still healing. Just imagine the steps and the leaps and bounds that we can make once we stop poisoning ourselves, once we allow ourselves to be healed, and we allow that innate healing ability within us to blossom and to bring us into that next chapter of humanity in a beautiful, unfolding way. Think of the possibilities. And that gives me great hope. So, I love you, family, very much. And I hold you in my heart always. I love you.